Welcome back to the Athlete's Porch. See that little button on the left, bottom left there? No, bottom right. Your left, my right. Your right, my left, whatever it is. See that button? Go ahead and click that. Let's keep these things rolling. Let's keep the good times rolling, baby. We're talking today about separation, sport, why we take ourselves so serious within our sport. It's real. I did it. I was way too serious. I wouldn't even look up in the stands during a game because I was like, I can't smile, look up at the stands. I can't look at my family. I can't look. And now I see so much joy when I'm watching TV, like guys like Freddie Freeman, Nick Castellanos, NBA games. They make a bucket, score a goal, and they're waving to their family in the middle of the game. Are you kidding me? They're so in control of themselves that they're having so much fun. And that's the joy that Curry brings into it. But we obsess over this so much, and it's a beautiful thing because we want to be freaking great. To be great in something, you have to be obsessed over it. Laying in bed thinking about that last play, the last event. Why did we lose? How did we win? What did we do? And it's with you throughout the whole damn day. We're going to get into a little bit more of having separation. Because if that's something that I could have done back when, and I talked to, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm talking to so many athletes and helping them out and hearing what they're going through. It's the same stuff. It's the same thing at every sport, at every level. I don't care what it is. People, the mind works the same way. And so we have to be ahead of it. And before this season comes in, because this could be your breakout season. This could be the season that you earn that scholarship, the season that you get drafted, the season that you get that bonus check, the season that you make whatever it is, this could be the season. And as the new year's rolling into it, and the season's approaching, whatever it is that you're doing, we're thinking, this is it, this is it, this is it. I said that in 2013. Happy New Year, I said to my brother. I said, this is going to be the best season yet. This is the time we get back on it. I got released 4 months later. Can you believe that? I was putting so much pressure on myself to perform that I forgot how to just be a human being and relax. Because when we stress, and we try to make something happen, that's when things don't go our way. When we relax and we become present and aware of our perspective, that's when we start to play our best ball. That's when we hit that flow state. So think of this. Think of we're in an airplane together and we're looking down on your city, on your situation, at your school, at your stadium. We can't see the details. We can't see if you made an error. We can't see if your team won. It doesn't matter. We need to be able to step back, step outside of our comfort zone, of our situation, and we need to become aware. And that's the first step. Think of people, the first step is admitting it. You have to become aware of what you're doing. And that's why I want to tie in the human element of who you are with the athlete of what you do. Your sport isn't define who you are. It's just something that you do. That first step is admitting it. We have to think presence precedes performance. That's what we have to believe. Presence precedes performance. I want to read you to the Serenity Prayer. Have you ever heard the Serenity Prayer? I have it on my background on my phone. And it says, God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That wisdom lives in awareness. We have to know what we can and we can't control. We have to know when we should turn it on and when we should turn it off. Become more aware of your thoughts. And when you start to do that, then you start to have the separation. Let's get into this a little bit more. It's like the breath, the presence. When you take a breath, you become present. When Novak Djokovic talks about breathing all the time. The guy's had mental coaches since he was 12 years old. He talks about the breathwork. Steph Curry, we talked about it last episode. He breathes on the court, but you can't tell. It's the inhale through the nose. Thinking about your chest expanding, thinking about the presence. What I do with the athletes is I tell them to have a string from their nose to their belly button and have a bead on it. And when you inhale, the bead rises up. And when you exhale, the bead pushes down. It's a visual. It's a cue to focus yourself on your breath. All that does, I shouldn't say all that does, but all that does is create awareness for when we need to breathe. And that's why on the field you see players take the breath. And it's amazing how some of these elite athletes, all sports, will be playing their game, and then it doesn't even look like they're working hard. They can see the next move before the next move happens. They're in so much control that they're just living in the moment. And it's no different when I was playing, is when I started, and this is more the later part of my career, and I carried into coaching, is when I started to overthink a situation, or if I made a bad play or made a bad decision as a base coach, I would grab a blade of grass and I would rub it together and I would stare at it and I would take a little breath and then I would drop it. I would see it letting go. And that, for me, that was a release to, hey, get back to the present. Feel the grass. Let it go. Let that last one go. Be in the moment here, because that's what I can control. And just processing what we can and can't control helps us to become more aware. And so when you're obsessing over the at bat and you leave the field and you're thinking about I need to go hit more, I need to do extra work, I can't wait for tomorrow, and you don't talk to your parents, you don't talk to your friends, you just go into your room, that's not good. That's boiling. You're boiling. We need to release. We need to let go. I want you to think about how you're a person and then an athlete. And let's break down the separations of the identities of who you are and who you can be. All in all, you're a human being. Human being that happens to be an athlete. But we think about, you got 24 hours of your day. 10 of those you're sleeping, should be sleeping. 5, 6 of those you're in school, if you're a student. If you're not in school, then you're probably with your family 5, 6 of those. A couple hours of those you're training, and then you're at your event, and then you're with your friends, and then you're eating dinner. And so if you think about this, you are a son, you are a daughter, you are a friend, you could be a gamer, you could be the athlete, you could be on the field. How about this? You could be on the field, the teammate. When you have the bat, you're the hitter. When you drop the bat with the helmet on, you become the runner. When you're on the mound, you're a pitcher. When you're in the dugout, you're off. That's what Corbin Burnes is talking about, separating them all. He could be laughing in the dugout, and then all of a sudden, when he puts his glove on, he walks out on the field, boom. He's now the pitcher. He knows what he needs to do within his routine. So we have to create that awareness. But know that just like those stories my son's reading about Iron Man, Tony Stark, do you know who that is? No, you don't. Tony Stark is Tony Stark before he becomes Iron Man. Peter Parker, he's a kid. He's a son before he becomes Superman. Those little dogs, Bingo and Rolly, that my kids watch before they save the day, they're just somebody's dogs that they lay on the couch. So we have to build the separation. Understand your role, understand your identity, and start to label your days. Let me tell you about the old Cherokee story about the 2 wolves. You might have heard this before. I'm going to read it here so I stay on it. We have 2 wolves living inside of us. One wolf, fear, anxiety, ego, overthinking. The other wolf, confidence, peace, discipline, trust, presence. The grandson asks, which wolf wins? Simple answer, the one we feed. When our entire identity is based off results, we feed the fear wolf. When we replay the mistakes at nighttime, we feed it. When we never take the uniform off and we carry it throughout our day and have no separation, we're feeding that. But the identity separation helps us feed that, the right wolf. We're not trying to kill the bad wolf. We're just trying to feed the right wolf. And with the breath, the awareness, we come to that. It's no different than the inner game of tennis. I referenced this last week in a different setting. Last week was more about the visualization piece of it. This time, the author talks about self 1 versus self 2. And it's not, we don't go play the opponent. We're playing versus ourselves. And when we are able to play free, we're trusting that self 2. But when we start to dive into and not trust, and we start to judge, and we start to look forward or too much backwards, self 1. So which self are we playing? Which wolf are we feeding? Michael Jordan talked about in The Last Dance, as he was a badass competitor, but they said he knew when to turn it off. And that's the challenge that I want to push to you today, is know when to turn it off. Know when you need to have an outlet. Know when on your off day, or know when you need to turn off your phone. Know when you need to go for a walk. Know when you need to go to a public place. Know when you need to have that bird's eye view of that airplane at 40,000 feet. Know when to play the instrument. Know when to do video games. Know when to go do something different that gets you uncomfortable and gains you perspective. Go watch the old couple hold hands and have perspective on life. Go to Mass. Don't forget to take the uniform off. Don't forget Iron Man becomes his own person. Spider-Man is a son before he's Spider-Man. Let Peter Parker live. Let yourself be you. Understand your behaviors. Like Urban Meyer said in his book Above the Line, he said, the culture and how we want to live isn't just having words on the wall. It's how your behaviors and your actions. So who you are, identify who you are as a human being and how you want to live. And don't lose sight of that. Go out and be you. Create more awareness, have more separation, breathe a little bit more, gain that perspective, and don't take yourself too seriously like I did. Smile more, laugh more. It's okay. You're going to fail. You're going to make errors. You're going to miss a shot. That's what makes us great, if you allow yourself to have the right perspective. Thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you haven't. I'm coming out with these weekly, maybe more. I don't know. But I love it so far. If you have any feedback, put it in the comments. Send me a message, whatever it is. Let's go get them.